everyone, and welcome to Jammin Jukebox Radio Show. I am your host, DJ Delta Dawn, and so very glad to be here with you on this Tuesday evening. I hope that all of you have had a wonderful day out there and your week is off to an excellent start. And, hey, if it's not, just know that 3 days from now, the weekend's coming, so hang in there. We are so excited because tonight we've got a duo that is a little bit different and a little bit unique from what, I've typically listened to. But the first time I heard their song that is actually out now, I was just like, this is really cool. It's really good stuff. And plus they have a really cool band name. I love their band name. So I just said, we got to get them on the show. So in any event, they're an awesome duo. And to give you a little background on who they are, the band is called Of Clocks and Clouds. They are a punk rock duo. They hail from Brooklyn, New York. They're made up of Salgo and Ross Procaccio. I hope I didn't butcher that, and I apologize, Ross, if I did. But these guys make up the two-man group, and they have a classic punk synth ensemble sound, and really, it's really cool. I mean, their music is the kind of music that kind of gets in your head and just stays. The first time I heard their song, What You Need, it was stuck in my head, and it still gets that way every time I listen to it. So without further ado, I want to welcome Joe and Ross. Hello.
Hey, Don.
Hi,
everybody.
How are you?
What's going on? Oh, we're doing
good.
just great
Ross,
today. Yeah.
Ross, I hope I didn't say your name incorrectly, and if I did, I do apologize.
It's all right. Everybody gets it wrong. It's Procaccio.
Procaccio. Okay, we'll see. If I had asked you, I didn't even think before we went live, how do you say it? But that's good. I won't forget it. Well, welcome aboard, guys. We're so glad to have you in with us tonight and giving up some of your time to spend with us. We greatly appreciate it.
Well, thanks for taking an interest in our music.
Oh, most
we're
definitely.
happy to share it with you guys. Yeah.
Well, I am always getting music from indie artists from all over the place, and every now and again, I just really music. I love music anyway, but every now and again, I will get music from guys like you, and it's just like it really gets my attention. And when I heard the song "What You Need," I was like, "Wow, this is really cool," and it's a different sound. And what I loved about it was it is not what you hear on mainstream radio. It's fresh, it's new, it's different, and I love it because just because of that reason in itself. So to kind of get started, let's talk a little bit about Of Clocks and Clouds. How did you guys come to be as a duo?
Well, I met Ross through another band after I had played my first show as Of Clocks and Clouds, which was kind of a solo project. And we started working on some music together, and we played a bunch of shows with multiple band members. We had upwards of like 4 people that we were playing with. And then as of January 2013, this year, we decided that was just going to be the two of us, and the formula is working. So I don't know. We're not messing with it right now, and it's cool. The fact that it's just the two of us that are writing these songs and making these songs is also the two of us that play live, and we create a lot of sound for just 2 people, and I think people are really enjoying that and interested in that.
Well, and it's interesting that you mentioned that, and thank you for sharing that, because when I first heard your song, I immediately thought, man, how many people are in this band, And then as I kind of started doing my homework on you guys, I was like, oh, my gosh, it's just the 2 of them making all that music? Wow. And so, that's quite talented. And talk a little bit about your sound, because it is different from what you hear, and it's not really, it's not like I can say it's strictly a punk sound. It's not strictly a punk rock sound. It's not strictly a rock sound. I mean, it sounds like a great mix of a lot of different sounds. And how would you classify your music? I guess it's the best way to ask.
Well, I mean, I don't think that we, because everyone asks, like, well, what kind of music do you make? And you're like, oh, I don't know, but you tell me, it's kind of like that. I guess to simplify it, we're an electronic rock band, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I think our sound kind of crosses over into lots of different genres. So.
Yes. Yeah. That's a great way to put it, because I think it could cross over into many different genres. And isn't it cool that you guys aren't boxed into one particular genre? Like you aren't strictly in the rock genre. You can actually gravitate out, which I'm sure as a duo, as a band, it really does allow your creativity to just explode.
Ross, your creativity is always exploding.
Yeah,
especially.
I mean, what we've kind of done is, I mean, we've taken a lot of the electronic elements that Joe started out with, like the reason files and just a lot of the just simple basic elements, and just kind of built around that and created the songs from there.
Yeah, so what Ross is saying is I basically like write music on my laptop. And then I come up with something that I think is cool, and then I show it to Ross, and we tweak it a little bit, and then we play live instruments over it. And
eventually we peel back
and then kind of
the
strip
track
away the layers of the electronic music as we add stuff to it. You know?
Wow.
So.
Well, that is a process in itself, it sounds like, you know?
It's weird because it's just kind of what we do, you know? It's like, it's not like anything, it's just what we're doing. So it's and it's also a form of maintaining our own personal sanity, I think, you know, working on these songs.
Well, you know, we all have to have our little, you know, vices and fixes that get us, you know, through that, to keep us in check, our sanity. So, you know, that definitely would be a great one, in my opinion. I have to ask, how did you come up with the name of Clocks and Clouds? I always like to ask bands this because there's always, you know, the stories are never what you think they're going to be. So I think it's always an interesting question to ask, but where did the name come from?
Well, I'm kind of a little bit of a nerd, and I was reading about this guy. He was a German scientific philosopher from the 1930s. Don't ask me why. And his name was Karl Popper, and he wrote essays about different types of measurable events in nature and in the world. And he classified them into two types, clocks and clouds. So clocks are the things in nature that are constant and will always be the same and are easily measured. And then the clouds are the things that you can't contain and are constantly changing, you can't measure or describe. And then he said that the misconception amongst the masses is that we live in a world of clocks, but mostly we live in a world of clouds where things are constantly changing and you can't really lock it down. So I just thought I love those two ideas, and it's kind of the way we make music anyway. You know, like we start out with these very like regimented, you know, very, computerized beats basically, you know, and then we add the clouds on top, you know. So.
Very, very cool analogy. I like that. And it makes sense now. I mean, it makes sense, and you're right. It fits your music and your sound perfectly. You know, when I first happened upon you guys, I was like, Clocks and Clouds, that's kind of interesting. That's interesting, you know, and unique and different. And then I heard your music, and I was like, gosh, they got a unique title for a band. They got a unique sound. Well, those two go together very well. But that's a great backstory. Who knew, you know? And it's always interesting because you never know where bands are going to draw their inspiration from for their title, you know, for the name. So that's pretty cool. We'll talk a little bit about some of your musical influences that you each have.
Go ahead, Ross.
Go first, I guess. Well, originally, when I was in early high school, middle school, I listened to a lot of really cheesy new metal, and I was really big into the double bass drums and the whole massive drum set up. I listened to a lot of Mike Portnoy as a kid, but as I grew up, I started to listen to a lot more. Not so much Dream Theater, just more of the Mike Portnoy DVDs. I was big on those. I like the fact that he had 10,000 pieces on his drum set, but then once I started playing shows, I realized that that's a big pain in the ass. But then as I went further into high school, I started to break down my sound more, get more into jazz, a lot of Buddy Rich, a lot of Buddy Rich snare work, and a lot of stuff like that. And then actually in high school, I switched cars because my first car died on me, and I got my second car. And with my second car, I had one of the Led Zeppelin CDs in it. And at one point, my CD player broke, and the only CD I could play in my car was Led Zeppelin. So driving to school, if I forgot my iPod before the time
That's
of
a good
iPhone,
problem. You know?
I wound up listening to nothing but Led Zeppelin on my drive to school. So that's where I started to become a little more influenced by John Bonham, a lot of his heavy hitting and just power style of drumming. So I mean, it's more like old school jazz with Buddy Rich stuff that started to influence me. And
when you see us
later on, it was more John Bonham.
Oh, when you see us play live, like Ross is kind of like a combination of John Bonham and Dave Grohl when he was playing drums. So he's got the Bonham vibe, and then like he's got the Dave Grohl hair that just hangs everywhere, and it's just you can't help but love it. Yeah.
He let me cut my hair.
Yeah, Ross is on a no haircut policy.
If I cut my hair, I'm out of the band, and then Joe will make it back to solo project again.
Yeah.
Well, you know, whatever it takes, right?
Yeah. My musical influences, I mean, like my parents were hippies, and I was raised in a house where I was just always going through my dad's old records. So anything from like, you know, Otis Redding and Chuck Berry to like Jimi Hendrix, the Beatles, and then like Dire Straits and all the kind of hits from the 80s. And then as I got older, you know, it's like when I first started playing guitar, I mean, I think one of the first songs I ever learned was like Come As You Are by Nirvana. And just like started kind of picking up that kind of grunge style, and I guess a punk rock vibe. And now as I kind of am making more music, I'm just attracted to anything that really sounds different and fresh, and has a good groove these days. So I'm all over the radar. I love finding new music, and with the way things are in the internet and technology, it's like there's endless things available, you know? It's pretty cool.
Oh, you're so correct about that. I mean, social media and the internet has paved the way for indie artists everywhere to get their music out there so it can be heard, unlike ever before. And that's one thing I love about, you know, indie music is that there's so much of it, and yet it's so diversified. And, you know, there's a little something for everybody, you know. And indie artists are, I think, some of the most talented people on the earth because you guys, you know, you can do what you want with your music. And, of course, it would be nice to be funded, you know, by a major record label to be able to do far more. But it's so neat that your creativity is not squashed and sandwiched and compartmentalized. You know, you're able to really do what you want with your music, which I think it makes for much better music for listeners all around.
Yeah, I think all that music is making its way towards the mainstream, you know, like faster than most people thought that it would, because of the internet, because of people discovering these acts on their own, and then that the major labels eventually are going to start paying attention to that. But hopefully they don't ruin it.
That is so true. And, you know, it's amazing to me that just since I've started doing this radio show, how much more indie music has risen to the surface. And, you know, if I was the owner of a major record label, I would be a little nervous. I would really be a little nervous because there's only so much the record labels are doing, and they're driven by what society is dictating is the here and now. But, you know, the indie movement, music movement, is getting to be so strong, and as more and more people join it, you know, bringing their talent and their craft to it, I think it's gonna come to a point where the major record labels are gonna have no choice but to start really sitting up and taking notice. I think it's really getting to be that strong, which is great, you know, because it would be great to have some real music on the radio instead of all this prepackaged, you know, same type stuff you hear over and over and over. About the only music I think that I think about the only music out there right now that doesn't have that same sound as classic rock, because all of it is technically classic rock from the 70s and 80s, and, it was diversified then. But other than that, it's like, well, okay, I really just don't think I want to sit here and listen to the same 10 songs in a row that sound the same.
I don't know. I guess, it's weird because did the masses demand music to be that way, like in the 60s and 70s? I mean, I wasn't alive then, but I would imagine, because right now it seems like there's a demand for this kind of, the same thing over and over again, and I don't know what that is. But I don't spend too much time worrying about it.
Yeah, well, I actually think it's very generational. I think that our younger generation of today has grown up on, the Justin Biebers and the boy bands of the world, and unless their parents have exposed them to classic music, your Etta James and just all the way up to Van Halen. I mean, unless parents really take that leap and go, here, let me expose you to what I used to listen to. All they know is what they're hearing on the radio, and so naturally, if they like it, they're going to want more of it. And the best hope we can have for that is that as they get older, they'll start to explore and scratch their heads and ask themselves, is there more to music than this? And start to figure it out, But who's to say that they will? So far, it seems to be the driving force behind it. But in any event, you guys are working on a new EP. Talk a little bit about that and when it might be expected to be released.
We are working on a 6-song EP, and we just released the single, which is the song that you heard, Dawn, What You Need. And we're almost done, with all the tracking, and then the kind of post-production side might take a minute or two to get it the way we want it to sound and mix properly, but we're hoping to have it released by the end of the summer, early fall, and then put together some sort of tour to back it up. Coming to some cities. So we're both born and raised in Brooklyn, and we're based here, so we play a lot in New York City. Yeah, but we want to come. We want to go out of state. We want to play for people that aren't in New York, and and hopefully our music reaches people in a good way, and we'll be able to do that.
Well, I can tell you, if you ever come to North Carolina, which is where I'm based, in case the accent didn't give that away.
What part of North Carolina? Because I went to School of the Arts in Winston-Salem.
Oh, you did?
I did, yeah.
Well, did you ever, when you were here, did you ever venture over to Carrboro to the Cat's Cradle?
The Cat's Cradle?
Which is, Carrboro, it's like right outside of Chapel Hill or right inside of Chapel Hill. It depends on what part of. Yeah, well, I'm thinking, gosh, you guys, if you ever come to North Carolina, that'd be a great place. I've always been impressed by them because they're just a little bitty venue, yet they pull in some of the biggest acts. I mean, it's crazy the people that they've had in there. And but they're good about,
I saw Talib Kweli, who's like a pretty famous rapper there when I was in college. And, he's huge now. And it was like seeing him in this tiny club, I couldn't believe it. It's amazing.
I know, and they really are supportive of, indie artists, but I don't know how they do it. They must have some great management that just are very musically inclined and have a good ear for it, but they always get in these really good acts that, a year or two later, they're like huge, and you're like, oh my gosh, I just saw them last year at, the Cat's Cradle kind of thing. So it's really interesting how they do that, but that would be a great place for you guys to play. But there's so many places, as you know, from having been here in North Carolina, we have the big cities, Greensboro, Raleigh, Durham, Charlotte, lots of places that I think would be a great fit for your music for sure. Yeah. So we're not all about country music here, believe me. I'm certainly not. Cool. I'll just put that out there now. I like some of it, but
we were down in Asheville like two falls ago. We went to Moog Fest down there. That was a good time.
Oh, okay.
And Asheville is a hell of a little town.
An inspirational trip.
Yeah, that is a town that if you blink, you'll miss it for sure. So, and where I'm actually based, you said you went to the School of Arts in Winston. I'm in a little town, which is a little bigger than the one you were just talking about, but it's called Nevin, or a lot of people call it, out-of-towners call it Mebane. But I'm kind of in between Greensboro and Raleigh-Durham, you know, so it's kind of the passing-through town. But yeah, that's where I'm based. So, anyway, well, cool. I mean, it's a small world. Who knew, you know? So you guys definitely need to get back to North Carolina when you get out and start touring around. That would be great.
If nothing else, for just for some barbecue and some biscuits and gravy. Oh, and Cookout. That place, that is like, I still have dreams about Cookout. When I was in college, oh, my God. Russ, I got to take you to Cookout.
Well, I tell you, it is the closest thing to a real backyard burger you will ever eat, in my opinion.
And
it is absolutely awesome.
60 or 80 like milkshake flavors that you can mix and match. It's insane.
Oh,
it
yeah.
Really should be illegal.
Look, it's like Sonic on steroids. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, when you go to Sonic, there's like 40,000 different flavors of drink combinations, but Cookout's like that with the milkshakes. It's crazy. But it's so good. All of it is so good.
They're open until like 4 in the morning. They're open until like 4 in the morning, I remember.
It's insane.
Perfect.
You know, the crazy things we do in the South, you know? Who knew?
Some things you got figured out, you know?
That's right. Well, speaking of playing, talk a little bit about where you guys are going to be performing upcoming.
Well, this Saturday we're going to be doing Orleans Grocery on August 10th. We got a good amount of friends actually coming in, some from Sweden, some from Connecticut, some from Rhode Island to come check it out. And then after that, we're playing, where is it, Joe? I just lose track of this.
Yeah, so the first show is at Arlene's Grocery this Saturday at 11 o'clock. It's on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. It's a pretty famous spot. We played there once before on my birthday this year. And then we're also booked at a pretty cool venue called Rockwood Music Hall on August 22nd at 11 o'clock. And that's kind of a nice stepping stone for us. Both those shows are pretty cool places to play, and we feel very honored to be involved in that. And
definitely. Really nice. Well, I've never been to New York, and I hope one of these days before I get too old to travel.
You've never been to New York, Dawn?
I've never been to New York, and I've always wanted to go and see the big city.
You can stay with my parents, all right? My mom will cook dinner for you. And we'll give you a tour of Brooklyn, and we'll take you to the best pizza place on the planet. And yeah, all right.
That sounds wonderful. I look forward to it. I'll have to really make plans now since you guys and have a place to stay. I mean, that's cool on top of all that. So, yeah, I have my oldest daughter. She's always dreamed of becoming a fashion designer, and one of her goals has always been to let's travel to New York, Mom. I want to go see the fashion district, and you know, she's just really artsy, and so you know, we just never made it there. So maybe one of these days that would be a really cool trip. But yeah, the same here. You guys get down to North Carolina.
About New York, the coolest thing about New York, I know, is just the fact that whatever you want at any time, you can find it if you want it bad enough. And that is and there's not a lot of places where you can really do that. And
that's true.
And, you know, you got every culture under the sun living here together peacefully for the most part, and it's pretty cool. You know, the rat race kind of gets to you after a while, and the pace of things, if you're not used to it, is tough. But I find that whenever I leave New York for more than 2 weeks, I kind of itch to get back here and get the energy of this place. You know?
Well, you know, I think most people, wherever they're from, would say that, you know, about their hometown or where they're from. It's just there's no place like home. There really is no truer saying, I don't think. But it is good to venture out and see other places, you know, and get out of your comfort zone sometimes and just really, you know, spread your wings, so to speak. It's really cool. So I definitely will have to. But the same applies. You guys get down to North Carolina, you know, we'll go grab some of that great barbecue. And, yes, we'll go to Cookout and have a milkshake and a burger because it's too good not to eat, to tell you the truth. That's right. So, aside from this album you guys are working on and your upcoming dates, is there anything else you guys are doing? Are you working on any new music on top of all this right now, or is that kind of on the back burner for the moment?
Just trying to focus on what we're working on now.
Yeah, we're trying to focus, but I'm always writing new stuff. So, just kind of, we want to finish the record and we want to promote it the right way, and then, we'll probably start, if and when we tour, we'll start playing some new songs when we're out. I have a feeling, that'll just kind of come together.
Well, when you guys get your album all done, just get us a copy, and we'll be happy to play it, promote it here on our show. And we also have a weekly show called Indie Artist Showcase, and we are always promoting indie artists that way as well. So, just shoot it to us, and we'll be happy to help you guys any way that we can.
And if that would be amazing. And if you like our music, or if you're just interested in getting to know us a little bit better, we're on Facebook and Twitter and Bandcamp and SoundCloud. So but Facebook is the easiest way to get the latest updates from us, and it's just facebook.com/ofclocksandclouds. There's no spaces there.
Great. And we'll also, we've actually put all of those links to where everyone can find you on our website as well, and those will remain. And when this interview wraps, I will add the audio from the interview to the website so fans can go there and access, and also we'll promote it out via social media so they can pick that up. But we're glad to help you guys, and you guys are awesome, and we'd love to have you back anytime to talk about anything you guys have going on, any new music, future albums, whatever. And of course, if you come to Norcana, we'll just chat about it over a meal. How about that?
Sounds great, Don. Yeah.
All right. Well, Joe and Ross, thank you so much for being our special guests this evening. It's been a blast speaking with you. Real pleasure. And we wish you all the best for much continued success as you go forward.
All right, Don. Well, thanks for having us, and thanks for everybody for listening. We'll see you soon.
All right. Take care, guys. Have a great evening.
All right. Okay.
Bye-bye. We've been speaking with Joe and Ross from Of Clocks and Clouds, and he just gave you all of the places that you can find them. But if you want to follow them on Twitter, it's Of Clocks and then the letter N, lowercase n, and Clouds. Of Clocks in Clouds, and you can follow them there, and of course Facebook, and just a bunch of places where you can look at look for these guys and listen to their music. But right now, I'm going to introduce you to the song that they have been playing. It's been out for a little while, and it's a good song. I like it. It's new. It's different, and I think you will too. This is Of Clocks and Clouds, What You Need. All right, that was Of Clocks and Clouds and What You Need, and you heard them, Ross and Joe. They were talking about their upcoming EP, soon to be released, and if you just follow us on Twitter as well as them, also like their Facebook page, you can stay up on when that is going to be released, and of course we will have a copy, and we will be promoting their music here on our show. All right, before we wrap, I've got a couple of announcements that I want to share with you guys. First of all, if you are a fan of the indie rock band Face the King, you need to tune in next Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. They are going to be here live on our show. We're going to be catching up with them. They were here last year. They're one of my favorite indie bands. Love these guys, and they're as nice as they can be. It was a great interview, fun interview last time. They really are a great group of guys, and we're also going to be talking about their brand new EP called The Sound, which has just been released, and we've been featuring it here on our show. Before we wrap, as we close, I'm going to play a cut off of that. But they're awesome. So if you're a Face the King fan, this is your opportunity to tune in and listen to them here live on our show. And you can also call in, say hi, ask questions. We will open up the phone lines for that. I know a lot of you out there love those guys. So that's at 8:30 p.m. Eastern next Tuesday, August 13th, right here on our show. All right, and then the big announcement that we want to share with everyone tonight, many of you may know, may not know, that Jammin Jukebox radio show is just one of 4 radio shows that I run, that I'm president and founder of, I host. And I also have 2 radio stations over on live365.com that I run as well. Well, we've grown so much in the last year, we've decided to start a network and, to house all this stuff and to kind of keep everything compartmentalized and together. And so the great thing about this network is that not only will it be helpful to us to have a network now kind of as our umbrella for all of our shows, but we are going to be opening up opportunities to bring on hosts who want a platform that don't necessarily want to do their own show, but a platform to be able to come on and talk about whatever they're passionate about, or have a fan show of sorts. It'll be a great platform if indie artists want to come on and do an impromptu, 30-minute performance for fans. The possibilities are endless. But the great thing is I'm so excited because a couple of really good friends of mine, colleagues in this industry, they've joined the network, and they're going to be broadcasting here on our platform. Not through our Jammin Jukebox radio show, just to be clear. Their network is called Air Nation Radio Network, and you can follow us on Twitter at Air Nation Radio. You can also visit our website, airnationradio.com, and also our Facebook page. But we've got two shows that are going to be on the network broadcasting, bringing you some great content. We have Brandon and Misty. They're going to be broadcasting Sunday nights at 7 p.m., and they do a Days fan show, Days of Our Lives. They're huge fans of the show. They do a weekly recap. They take fan calls, and they talk about, upcoming spoilers, the comings and goings of cast members. It's a great show. So they'll be broadcasting Sunday night, 7 p.m., and then also we have our other show that will be on the network is Gabtown Divas, which is an anything goes kind of show. And believe me, it is divalicious. Host Travis Nadeau, he brings some of the best guests from daytime, primetime, and film to his show. He sits down and has intimate conversations with them about, things that go on behind the scenes, what's going on in their lives. And he really brings, some interesting guests. I think you'll enjoy his show as well. And so he is going to be airing Monday nights at 7 p.m. and possibly a second night down the road. But it'll be Mondays at 7 to start. And he just had his debut on the network, the other night, Monday night. Yeah, it was last night, 10 p.m. He had we replayed an interview he recently did with Wally Kurth, who many of you, if you're a Days of Our Lives fans, he plays the role of Justin Kyriakis. So very, very excited for what's going on. Very excited to have Brandon, Misty, and Travis aboard on the network, and I think it's going to be great. If you like variety, you like content, this is the place to be because we are going to try to bring you the best of the best across all fronts. So And, so just follow us on Twitter, and you'll be able to stay up on everything going on, and it'll be awesome. So we want to thank Joe and Ross from Clocks and Clouds for being our special guests tonight, and also thank all of you for tuning in. If you're brand new to our program, welcome aboard. We're always glad to have new listeners and hope that you will be back again soon. Let's see. Coming up, trying to decide what's coming up next. Tomorrow evening, we have the New Blues Revolution. They are a blues band, and they are awesome. At 8 p.m. Eastern, they will be here. We'll be chatting with them. And then coming on Thursday, we have In Air, which is a indie pop rock band, and they're going to be with us at 7 p.m. Eastern. So until then, I hope you have a great evening and a great day tomorrow, and hope you'll be right back here tomorrow evening, 8 p.m. Eastern. So with that, I'm signing off. Have a great night, and we'll see you again real soon. Take care, all. Good night.
Hey, you. Yeah, you, the one listening to this. Go to Stitcher.com and download the free app. It's a free app that lets you listen to our show 24/7, 365, anytime you'd like. You don't ever have to miss another episode again. And you can listen to thousands more shows and stations just like ours. So go now. Download it to your mobile devices, your Androids, your iPhones, your iPads, whatever you got. It's Stitcher.com, and it's free. Thanks for listening to tonight's show. You can connect with Jammin' Jukebox Radio Show on Twitter at Jammin' Jukebox or on Facebook at Jammin' Jukebox Radio Show. Check out our website at thejamminjukebox.com. Also, follow us on Blog Talk, where you will be always up to date on every episode as we add it. Each episode is available for immediate download upon the conclusion of each broadcast, and as always, on iTunes. Thank you for joining us.